zvinofadza mweya yedu kutsvaga musha unouya. Hatina musha, hatina musha, hatifa kuva pano zvinofadza mweya tsvaga musha unouya, tsvaga musha unouya. Hatina musha, hatina musha, tinoda musha, isu tinoda musha, uzere runyararo une vachazorora
Right now, received a call again from the district elections officer.
Good morning, Zimbabwe. Magadi Maria Zimbabwe. Sanbonani, thank you so much to those who are just joining us. As you saw and heard from that song that we're playing, a song by Cooksman. It was a tribute. We played it in honor of one of us who was burned to death in South Africa. So that was a tribute to Elvis Nyati. We're going to talk more about Elvis Nyati in the program, but it is very sad. And yes, we welcome you to your favorite program, your program that comes every Sunday, same time, 9 p.m. Zimbabwean time, news review, as we go back in the week and review all the headlines, all the news that made the headlines during the week. And with me tonight, I'm joined by our usual panelists, Vadare Vedu, DJ Profa. Thank you so much for joining. Please take a few minutes to introduce yourself to the audience.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank you so much, viewers and listeners, for coming to engage with us today. We have got a vast of topics that we are going to tackle today. Let me just take this opportunity to say I'll be one of your hosts. Thank you so much.
Leader Barbara. No leader, right? Champion Barbara.
my network here is acting up. Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabwe. From wherever you are, lingabe lichona njani lavuka njani mthwakazi omuhle emagumbini amane wonke omhlaba. Sesiphendukile njalo uhlelo lwethu le-news review lapho esicubungula izindaba ekade zisenzakala iviki yonke le isiku-Change Radio lakamanye ama-stations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, our viewers and listeners wherever you are. Thank you so much. Over to you, Chief.
Yes, and I'm seeing here, we viewers and listeners, we have a new face, a new beautiful face. That's Dr. Mambo Kadzi in Botswana. I'll let introduce herself to you. She has a lot of stuff that she's going to share with us as we go in the program because she's new to Change Radio and she is also bringing new ideas, new programs. She has a program that she is launching on Tuesday. So, Dr. Mambokadza, please talk to the viewers and just tell us briefly about your program and yourself. Viewers would want to hear where you're coming from, who you are, and then we can move on.
Makadi vadiwa vatereri nevatariri. Dr. Mambokadzi here. Mwana wa mambo awa Mambokadzi naye. Muri kungozvinzwira. I'm happy to be part of this great family. I'll be broadcasting live from Botswana. Sitare kuzvarwa ndinonzi Dr. Beauty Mwera Muzadzi, mwana wa mambo. Naye. On Tuesday, I have a great show. It's a new show. It's going to be hot, like the doctor. It's called Dedicated Dish. You know, when it's a dish, as a mother, when I prepare a surprise for you, you only smell it. Until you taste it, then you know that it's wonderful. So just watch this space, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African time. I'll be live. For now, that's it. Wow. Thank you, Chief, and thank you, team.
Wow. Now you see, now we have royal blood here. You're used to just one type of royal blood. We have another type of royal blood that is here. And I'm glad to we are glad to have you here, Mambo Kadzi. Thank you so much for joining us. Estella, you can talk to the viewers,
Chief,
and then
Chief, waudze kuti mambo wechikadzi, Chief wechikadzi anonzi Mambo Kadzi. Waifunga kuti ndiwe wega, paita gender pana, paita zvegender pana. Maybe before we start, we've got another guest. I don't know whether he's still here.
Yes, he's here.
Okay,
Okay,
maybe
that's
our viewers
Elvis. Elijah. All right. Okay, Elijah, please go ahead and greet our viewers and listeners. Looks like he is not there. Okay,
Yeah.
Estella, you can go ahead and take away and also introduce the topics we are discussing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Chief. Warm welcome to you all, Change Radio viewers and listeners joining us from our Twitter Spaces platforms, from our YouTube platform, and from our Facebook platform. Let me take this opportunity to acknowledge our first few commenters. Joshua Wengai, how are you doing? Asaf Zawanda Kulamboni Ngube, shout out to you. Tendai Mafondora, welcome to the show. Ngobile Ndlovu, how are you doing? Molin, my sister, how are you doing? And Taswo Nyakurwa, warm welcome to the show. Today we have an interesting lineup of topics that we want to cover. News topics that occurred during this past week. The first topic that we're going to cover is the tribute to Elvis Nyati. I noticed there was a comment, someone was asking Chi Chaitika, Patience Nika. You're asking Chi Chaitika. Leader Barbara Chief, would you like to explain to Patience Nyati? Could Chi Chaitika say a tribute to Elvis Nyati?
Okay, a tribute to Elvis Nyati. Elvis Nyati was killed in South Africa. The story went viral on social media platforms where he was beaten and they poured petrol on him and died whilst people were watching. It was so heartbreaking. I couldn't even watch it. I'm lying. I only read how he died, and I couldn't even watch the images. Elvis Nyati was a victim of these xenophobic attacks where South Africans are targeting Zimbabweans without undocumented and documented Zimbabweans. There is a feedback, Estella.
Yeah, I'm also hearing it, and it's irritating.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, Elvis is still there. Can we all mute? Okay, thank you so much. So, Elvis Nyati was a victim of xenophobic attacks killed by South Africans who are claiming that Zimbabweans are criminals. They are killing them. So they've launched the Operation Dudula, where they are looking for Zimbabweans and killing them. And they are saying they have to work with their IDs. Once you are found without an ID, they kill you. And what's surprising is that the police are aware, the government is aware, and people, the mob is just doing what they want. They can't even control them, which is very, very, very sad. And they're even bragging to say they're not even remorseful. They say you are crying because we killed one Zimbabwean. Your Zimbabweans killed 7 people from Diepsloot where the incident occurred. And it's so sad. But what also we want to acknowledge is the solidarity from EFF who went there and paid their tribute to the family. Elvis Nyati is survived by a wife and 4 children. It's so sad, viewers and listeners. So this is why we've started with this song, Tina Musha Panika by Cooksman, a touching song. We are together with the family, Elvis Nyati's family. We are crying together. Elvis is one of us. We are all Elvis. May his soul rest in peace. Over to you, maybe Chief or Prof, whoever wants to take over.
Yeah, I do not have much to comment from what you have just said, Leader Barbara. I think zvamataura zvese ndizvo zvakaitika kuna Elvis Nyati kuno kuSouth Africa, wakapondwa akapiswa kusvika mukufa nevanhu vanofungidzirwa kuti ndivanozvidedza kuti Operation Dudula, vari kufamba vachiti vanhu vasina mapepa kana kuti vasina zvikwanisiro zvokunge vachigara munyika yeSouth Africa ngavadzokere kunyika kwavo. Mukoma Elvis vakazongobatikidzwa mushure mokunge vaizama kubuda kana kuti kubva pavakanga vari, pakanga pasvika vanhu ava veOperation Dudula. Ndo imwe yezviri kutaurwa. Nyaya dzacho dzakazodzoka dzoti one day dzaitaurwa nekuti there were a lot of investigative journalists akapinda munyaya vachida kutsvaka kuti vanyatso kunzwa kuti nyaya yacho iri papi, nevamwewo political correspondents vaitsvaga nyaya yacho kunzwa kuti iri papi. Saka nyaya dzataizonzwa ipapo dzakati siyanei siyanei, asi nyaya iripo hombe ndeyekuti mumwe wedu eZimbabwean mukoma Elvis Nyati vakazourawa nevanhu vaifamba vachibvunza vanhu mapepa kuti vanawo here kana kuti havana, ivo vachizama kuda kubva kana kuti kutiza pavakanga vari pavakanga pasvikiwa nevanhu havanoita zveOperation Dudula. So takambotaura nezvataura. Yes.
Before I come in and comment on that, you are in South Africa yourself. Is there anything that is going on in your area? Where are you? Are you safe? Do you think this might spread throughout South Africa? Because we are seeing here that someone, Tawanda, is writing here saying they've launched in KZN. Now let's pray for one another.
Yes. So the operation here, xenophobia operations or the xenophobic attacks, normally starts in KZN and Johannesburg and spread to other cities. Where I am, it has not launched anything, or it has not spread to this city, but we are keeping ourselves heads on to check what is going to happen. And Zimbabweans are everywhere. Even in where I am now, there are a lot of Zimbabweans, especially living in locations where they know they are Zimbabweans. And you find out most of the things, these attacks, they always target on Zimbabweans, or maybe sometimes Nigerians, but it's always Zimbabweans. And as you heard, the guy who was, I think it's from Deep Sloot, where Elvis Nyati was murdered, he is the leader there. I think they refer to him as the ANC youth leader. They were saying, no, we don't want the Zimbabweans because they rove around freely. But Palestinians, they can be left alone there. They are okay, but Zimbabweans, we don't want them.
Okay, yeah, that's very sad. Maybe let me begin by saying nematambudziko kumhuri kwa Nyati, our deepest condolences on behalf of Change Radio and all our followers. Would like to extend our deepest and heartfelt condolences to Elvis Nyati's family. Elvis Nyati is a husband, as you heard from Barbara. He's a father. And he's also somebody's child. There's a mother there, there's a father who is grieving right now because, he was murdered, he was killed. And if you trace back why he was murdered, why he was killed, and why Zimbabweans in general, there is a feedback again. Can we please mute? And if you want to trace this issue, it comes back to our own country, to Zimbabwe. That as Zimbabweans, we've been reduced to beggars. And, we are subjects of ill treatment and xenophobic attacks everywhere where we go. I was in Botswana at one time. You would be called Mukwerekwere. We're going to hear from Dr. Mambokadza shortly, so that we hear about the effect of what is going on in Zimbabwe. That we have a government that doesn't care, a government that has put us in this predicament. Elvis Nyati was killed. We haven't really had anything meaningful from our government, from Emerson Mnangagwa. Robert Mugabe would, even though he was a devil, you would do something. At one time, I know he sent some buses, to get Zimbabweans out, and you'd get help, a lot of help from the embassies. It's not happening anymore. This is a government that doesn't care about its citizens, about its people. Here in America, if you are killed when you're outside the country, you are a citizen of America, you're a citizen of this country, they will raise hell. They will do everything. It will be a big issue that very same day. But that's not what is happening with Zimbabwe. And we come back to what we always say, that as Zimbabweans, we are on our own. We are on our own. We only have each other. We don't have a government. And clearly we need new leaders, because this is not leadership that we are seeing, people being murdered and nothing happens. We should even be seeing by now high-level engagements between the Zimbabwean, so-called Zimbabwean government and the South African government. But there's nothing happening. Of course, we've seen statements from the ZEC leadership, which shows, who is really the leader of the people in Zimbabwe. And it's very, very sad that we continue to lose lives like this. Elvis is not the first person that was murdered. We had the same incident that happened somewhere in Louis Pritchard, where someone was burnt to death again. How many more Zimbabweans are going to be killed? How many more Zimbabweans are going to be burnt to death? Of course, it takes us to where we are now, that we need to get rid of this government. We all need to do something. We all need to go home and register to vote. If you're in South Africa, if you're in Botswana, please think about this deeply. Make sure you prepare yourself, you arrange, you plan that you get to Zimbabwe at some time during the course of the year, you register to vote, and we see what we can do with this government come 2023. Dr. Mambokadza, are you still there?
She's here.
Is she?
Yes, she's here. She unmuted.
Hello. Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. Your comments are on what happened to Elvis Nyati. You are in Botswana. You are a foreigner there. Maybe you can also comment along those lines.
Yes, thanks, Chief, and thanks, Change Radio family and our viewers and our listeners from all over the world. Dr. Mambokadza here again. Chekutanga, on behalf of my family, the Zimbabwean family, I would like to extend our heartfelt and deepest condolences to Elvis family. Tichiti Mwari varambe vachikunyaradzayi. Mwari ndivo vanogona, ndivo vanoziva maronda ari kurwadza ari mukati menyu. Dai Mwari mweya mutsvene wainga kunyaradzai panguva dzakaoma zvakadai. Back to this issue, vateereri nevatariri, nhau yekugara in a foreign land inorwadza. I am in Botswana. You never get an equal share, never war. So I want to start by saying, we know what is happening, which is going to be my slogan on all my shows. We know what is happening. What are we doing about it? You know, zviri kuitika. Chii chauri kuita nezvazvo? ngatizvitorei upon ourselves tiende kumusha tindoregister. Iwewe neni ndisu tine basa, ndisu tinokwanisa kuchinja zvinhu mamiriro azvakaita. Saka tikamirira kuti ninge achaenda hazvina zvazvinotibatsira. I was talking to one friend of mine in South Africa this morning. Chimuti kwauri kupi zvikanzi ndiri kupolice station. Ndikati what is happening zvikanzi we went out, we were driving. Vatasangana neva vari kuita operation iyoyo muJohannesburg zvikanzi tipei ma-IDs enyu, tikati hatina tasiya kumba. So they were taken to Kruger's whatever park police station Friday vakarara ikoko nezuro. Nhasi vanga vari kumba ndipo vazokwanisa kuenda kundovarescua nema-IDs. Handiti so mukati munzvimbo dzisiri dzedu muri kurwadza kugara, muri kurwadza zvachose. Even here you find kuti here in Botswana you don't have the freedom that you need, you don't have what you must get kana uri mukati menyika yekwako. So I still encourage and I'll keep encouraging kuti vakomana zvinhu zviri kurema tiri mukati menyika dzevamwe, but we can make things right. It's never late in life. We still have it in our hands to choose what we want. If we want to choose to continue suffering, yes, we will continue. Because tikangotaura chete tikangoita change pamuromo kuti let's change things, let's do this, tisingaite action, then it's pointless. For now, I think let's sleep over these things and decide to make a change. Together, we can do it. Love you so much. God bless.
Barbara is on mute. I'm on mute. We are all trying to talk.
Yeah, ubuhlungu kakhulu Mthwakazi omuhle lapha besikhuluma ngendaba ka-Elvis Nyathi yena obulewe eSouth Africa ku-Operation Dudula. Sibonile imfanekiso ebingayenzi ebitshengisa ukuthi ubulewe njani, echiswa ngamathaya, kuthelwa ipetrol, wafa abantu bekhangele usizi olunganani. So thina njenge-Change Radio sikhala lemuli yako Nyathi, iZimbabwe yonke ikhala lemuli yako Nyathi. Sonke simu Elvis Nyathi. Ubuhlungu kangakanani azihlobo zami, abantu bebekhuluma besithi akusalunganga, eSouth Africa kusahlaleki, eZimbabwe wakhona akuhlaleki. Kuthiwa sokufanana lo muntu ophakathi kwembeleko lomhlane, uyazi uchaywa ngapha langapha. Ngakho abantu lapha ama-comments ade buya lapha athi khona abantu bathi buyanini ekhaya sihambe siye-register ngobunengi, sivote nini ngobunengi, ngoba kungaso uhulumende lo akwenzayo, u-Elvis ngawo uyaphila. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuba lathi, siyabonga kakhulu ukusixhasa. Angani umoya ka-Elvis Nyathi ungalala ngokuthula, but sithanda ukuthi sibonge njalo i-EFF yona eyama lo Elvis asasingacabangeli ukuthi labo bengabe belozwelo, njengoba vele ama-South Africans esithi wonke umZimbabweni olephepha longelaphepha buyelanini kini, lisiqedele imisebenzi, lisibulalela i-economy yethu, sifuna ukuzilungisela sodwa izinto zethu ama-Zimbabweans lingekho. Chief, bengilalele enye iprogram ku-Twitter Spaces, ngike ngangena enye iprogram adibuza ukuthi ama-South Africans angancedisa yini ama-Zimbabweans, kodwa bebesithi no, asilincedisi because lina kalifuni ukuzincedisa. Thina singabona into embi siyademonstrate, lina lingabona into embi alikhulumi. Kuthiwa likhuluma kuphela nxa lise-South Africa, kodwa nxa lise-Zimbabwe kalikhulumi, so kasilincedi. So I saw it as a challenge to say the people of South Africa are saying, you Zimbabweans, you don't want to fight for your justice. You are just quiet. You know, so many things are happening to you. You are not. You don't demonstrate. You don't even care. But I said to them, it's not easy demonstrating and people, and then we are killed because we are exercising your right, even if that right is enshrined in the Constitution. But I then said to them, thank you so much for telling us the truth, and we now know we are on our own. We are going to solve our problems, and this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, this is the time we have to solve our problem. we have to see to it that 2023, we have removed this regime, this cruel regime. And you know what? When that guy in America was killed, ZANU-PF went and demonstrated at the American embassy. But we have seen Elvis Nyati, he has been killed. We didn't see the ZANU-PF going to demonstrate at the South African embassy. This is the kind of the leadership that we have. They go and demonstrate because an American has been killed in America, but they keep quiet when their own son has been killed in their neighboring country, which is very, very unfortunate. Thank you.
You know, what you're saying, Barbara, is very true. I was on that Twitter space as well, I think, or it was another one. And then I also saw a thread on Twitter space, on Twitter, where a Zimbabwean had posted saying, I'm no longer safe in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, I can be killed anytime, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I went through that thread. Every South African who was commenting was not sympathizing or empathizing with Zimbabweans. They were actually responding, retorting, saying, if you don't feel safe in South Africa, why don't you go back to your country? And some were coming in saying, you don't feel safe here in a foreign country. But Tina, we also don't feel safe in our own country because of few Zimbabweans or because of few foreigners. It was a whole thread. Not one South African was sympathizing with us. That's where you see that this is getting serious. The people that go on Twitter, and I'm not saying anything here. The people that go on Twitter are the educated ones. These are the people that have degrees. This is the middle class. They know what they're talking about, but not one of them is feeling for Zimbabwe. It tells us one thing, guys. The world is fed up with us. South Africa is fed up with us. We are not condoning what they're doing, but what we are saying is, this is our problem. We need to solve our problems as Zimbabweans. If we are going to wait, if you are going to sit around and say there is another country or another donors or groups of people that are going to come and help us, it's not going to happen. We have to deal with our situations as Zimbabweans. We have to do it on our own, because we are clearly on our own. If you take the issue of Ukraine, I said this last week, and I want to repeat it, so that every Zimbabwean knows that they have a responsibility to do something about Zimbabwe, because if we don't, nobody's going to do that for us. America, UK, Europe, the whole world is watching while Ukrainians are being butchered every day. They are being murdered every day. Those are mass murders. A day ago, 50 people were bombed and killed, murdered at a railway station. And the world is watching. They are not getting in. They are not getting to get. They are not intervening. What about us? What about little Zimbabwe? What about poor Zimbabwe? You think the Americans or the British or one country is just going to come and sacrifice their soldiers, their children for us? No, we have to do this on our own. We have to fight for Zimbabwe. We have to fight for our rights. We have to fund the struggle. We have to support the struggle in every way possible. And this is a call for everyone, a call to duty for every Zimbabwean. If we don't do it, nobody's going to do it for us. Estelle, I know you've been waiting and waiting. Is Elijah now in? Elijah, are you back there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm in. Thank you. Thank you,
okay,
Chief.
Good. Please go ahead. You can put your camera on. I know you're traveling, but you can put your camera on and give us your view.
Okay. I hope it will be.
Okay, that's fine. We can hear you. You can go ahead.
All right. Thank you. First of all, I just want to pass my sincere condolences to the Nyati family and to the whole Zimbabwean community in South Africa and the whole world at large. At this sad passing on of Elvis Nyati in very disturbing and unfortunate circumstances. However, I just want to say it is so unfortunate where we are now as a country, that we are no longer allowed or we are no longer wanted even by our neighbors. I was just listening to this youth leader who was speaking, and he was so specific that we do not want Zimbabweans here in South Africa. He was asked about other nationalities, but he was so specific that he do not want Zimbabweans, even including those who've got permits. He said, we do not want Zimbabweans. So it just tells us where we are as a country. And it is also so disturbing. If you look at it, we've got thousands, hundreds of people are trying to cross to South Africa on a daily basis just to make out a living. And they're not even going to stay in affluent suburbs, but they're just going, at least that they can send something back home to take care of their families. But where they are going, this is what is happening now. But it just shows where we are now as a country. And it just shows how much we now need change. It is time. Because everything that is happening now, all this influx of people. Right now, we are talking about South Africa. But if you look at it, we've got thousands and thousands, hundreds of people are also flocking to the United Kingdom, for example, where I am. They are flocking there as carers, running away from the economic hardships that are back home. Just like what Mambokazi said, Kuti, home is best. We all want to be home. You can do more when you're home. But we are now running away. Why? Because of what we are facing. So I just want to encourage Zimbabweans. Let's look at the bigger picture. It's very unfortunate what happened to Elvis. It's very unfortunate that what is happening to most Zimbabweans that are living outside the country. But let us look at the bigger picture. 2023 is coming. This is our chance to try and redeem our nation, to try and whatever is left of Zimbabwe before it drowns, let us try to save it. Let us try to take it out of the doldrums. So this is the opportunity that we've got. We need to come as citizens. I'm so happy. It's more like it was prophetic what President Chamisa said when he came up with this idea, and that this movement is a citizens movement. If it's a citizens movement, it means every Zimbabwean is a citizen. We need to come together. We need to coalesce. We need to be together and be the change that we want. As long as we fold our hands and we keep on crying, oh, this is what is happening in South Africa, this is what is happening in Botswana, we are losing our jobs. Now those permit holders, they're also losing their jobs. If we keep on crying and not doing something about it, then we are going to be failures as well. So I just want to encourage Zimbabweans, wherever we are, let us avoid what is happening. Right now, as we are speaking, we know what is happening in Zambia. They have made their changes. We know the economy is booming. Just the day before yesterday, I saw an advert from Zambia. They are recruiting teachers. They want teachers to come through, you know. And we used to, at some point, we were looking down upon Zambia. But now look at it. Zambia is far much better than us. We can do that as Zimbabweans. We can remember we're the breadbasket of Africa. Let us get back to our former glory. Let us redeem our nation. And the time is now. The time is 2023. Let us make sure we do something about our nation and save our nation. It is our responsibility as citizens to save this nation from these people.
Wow. Barbara, thank you so much for bringing Elijah. Elijah needs a stadium. You know, Funi Baba Fields.
He's a politician, and you know what he's saying. I actually support what he's saying, and to add on to what he's been saying about the Zambian situation, President Chamisa said he only needs 6 months to revamp Zimbabwe. He only needs 6 months, so you can see how dedicated he is. He knows the country is in a mess. He knows the buildings are dilapidated, but he's saying, I just only need 6 months. After winning the elections, it will only take 6 months to revamp Zimbabwe. How is it? How about that, Chief?
Yeah, and it's possible. It's very possible. I'll hand back to my co-host Estella. I'm sure she'll play a song here so that we can transition to the next topic of discussion, just as we take a short break. But please, Zimbabweans,
maybe you can tell us the next story, and then so that we prepare whilst he's playing the song.
Yeah. But as we close on this, please let us continue to pray for Elvis Nyati's family and those in South Africa. I know there are arrangements that are being made by our leadership there, so that they can also be part of the funeral arrangements. Those who can help, please let's help as much as we can. EEF, as Barbara said, they are helping. Another political party, which is not of Zimbabweans, is actually doing a lot. So Zimbabweans in South Africa, please respond to the call of ACT so that we do something for Elvis Nyati. Estella.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you to all our panelists for all their contributions. We're going to take a short break, and after the short break, we will tackle our next item on our list, which is ZEC is cornered. We are just going to watch a short clip on voter registration, something very important, something that came up a lot in comments. A lot of people are saying, let us go home and register to vote. And indeed, let us do that in honor of Elvis Nyati. Let us go home and register to vote and make sure that his wife, his children, and those who survived him have a better Zimbabwe to look forward to. Let us do that in his honor.
Rekta kuvota hande kunovota hatiti vanozokopota kutuka vamwe vasina kuvota rejista kuvota hande kunovota hatiti vanozokopota kutuka vamwe vasina kuvota kovurezenzi nechitupa changu ndetachek ndapinda tonazi monazi ndoda kunyorejesa masalazi maketo yudzi yakametesa vemushikashika pamusika vari kutengesa kuti kugokwanisa kuvhota paunoda manya kuzekiwo rejesa kuvhota rejesa kuvhota hande kunovhota hatidi vanozokopota kutuka vamwe vasina kuvhota register kuvhota.
Register to vote and stand with other citizens in voting to be the change our country needs. Stand in solidarity with others to bring dignity into the lives of all Zimbabweans. Here is the list of the ZEC provincial officers. Please phone for free on 08080219 for more information. In Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, the offices are located at number 16 Centenary Court, Windsor Park Building, 16th Avenue, in Famona, Bulawayo. Harare Metropolitan is at 95 Jason Moyo Avenue, 4th floor Cecil House, in Harare. In Manicaland, they can be found at 1st floor, New Government Complex, corner Robert Mugabe and 4th Street in Mutare. In Mashonaland Central, they are located at 2nd floor, Mutunga Gore Building in Bindura. In Mashonaland East, they are located at number 2, 5th Street, Marondera. In Mashonaland West, the address is 78 Robson Manika Drive in Chinoi. Mashingo can be found at number 10, Hellet Street in Mashingo. And for Midlands, the address is 10th Street, ground floor Government Complex in Gweru. Matabeleland North can be found at 16 Centenary Court, Windsor Park Building, 16th Avenue in Famona, Bulawayo. And Matabeleland South is located at 1194 Big Ben Road, Jahunda in Gwanda. Your vote counts.
That's a Change Radio production. Thank you so much, Estella. Back to you.
Thank you, Chief. There you have it, viewers and listeners. The message is loud and clear. Register to vote and be the change you seek.
You're on mute, Stella.
I'm not.
She's not.
If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Chief, can you hear anybody, Chief?
Can you hear me, Chief?
We can hear her.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. So it was me. I don't know what's going on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Happy drinking, Chief.
Yes. So the next topic that we are discussing is ZEC. ZEC has been cornered, and it is being forced to reform. Let us hear what our panelists have to say on this topic. Leader Barbara, I see you're smiling.
We are not forcing it to reform. We are demanding it to reform. ZEC must reform. Thank you so much, Estella. I've been following this Pachedu team Pachedu that has been doing a wonderful job since before the by-elections, during the by-elections, and they continue to do so even after the by-elections. They've exposed a lot of ZEC shenanigans, and also we see our president Nelson Chamisa saying ZEC must reform, it must be non-partisan, or it must be disbanded because they failed. Citizens are ZEC's employers and paymasters. The citizens are the employers of ZEC and they pay ZEC. But ZEC wants to act as if it is the master. There has to be a dialogue and pact on reforms. Once delimitation is done, citizens will choose candidates. Change will fix this. CCC is an all-citizen movement, but we are careful. This is a tweet where President Chamisa was talking about ZEC and some other issues pertaining CCC. So the exposure by Pachedu, there were so many irregularities. The issues of voters' roll, where there were 2 voters' roll, where the candidates, the CCC candidates, were given another voters' roll that is different from the one that was used during the elections, where there were a lot of people that were registered on one address, maybe 57 people registered on one address, or maybe people that were registered on non-existent address. What motivated me to follow Team Pachedu was that they would go physically and check for themselves. So now, after the election, what they've now done, those are mathematicians, statisticians that are doing this job. They are IT gurus. They know the citizens that have volunteered to do what they know best. And of interest, I just came to say these people are so intelligent. When they located the server, they've located the ZEC server. The ZEC server is not even in the hands of ZEC. The ZEC server is in the hands of the military. They've even found the address. Was it in Ganil, in Harare, and the address? And you know what amused me is when Pachedu said the ZEC, the server is around this area, they provided a diagram. That's where the server is. And they tell you what, Jonathan provided the address. He said it was number 72, and it belonged, the house belongs to a ZEC, to Africom board of director, and Africom is the company that is owned by military, and Africom is the one that installed the IT, ZEC IT. How interesting, Chief. and Prof. I don't want to finish. I know there's a lot of news or information to be shared on ZEC. Let me give you opportunity to speak about ZEC, and then I'll come maybe round up.
DJ Prof, you can take it away.
Thank you so much. I think zvamuri kungotaura ndizvozvo chaizvo leader vanhu vari kuudzwa timu pachedu vari kuita mashura nezviratidzo pasi zvisakaoneka munyika eZimbabwe kubuditsa zvese zviri kuitwa mashura ari kuitwa neZEC kuda kuzama kubirira kana kuti kuda kuzama kugadzira ma-results for the regime, for ZANU-PF, sezvataurwa naleader Barbara kuti vakawana seva kana kuti vanogadzira zvekutepfinyura zvinobudisa tingati IT zvinobudisa kana kuti vanogadzira mawebsite kunoitwa zveZEC zvema-results kana zveinformation yeZEC zviri kubva kumasoja kana kuti the military and the military house with a pseudo organization kana kuti organization inezita rekuti Africom. But chandoda kutenda chacho chandoda kutinya kutenda nyaya yevakomana kana nevasikana ve team pachedu sorry vakomana nevasikana ve team pachedu inyaya yekuti zvese zviri kuitika vari kubva vazvibudisa pachena kuti bvu chimwe chechinhu chiri kunyanya kuda chiri kuitika iko zvinezvi chakuitwa neZEC vaona kuti timu pachedu iri kuvabata kunyaya dzese zviri kuitika nezve-IT zveindaneti izvi vakabva vatora voters roll rine mifananidzo yevanhu ndokunoripa vakomana nevasikana veZANU-PF iro raakushandiswa manje kuti vari kuenda kuvanhu vonosvika votaridza munhu kuti uri kuona information yako iwewe unonzi izvoni tatenda tapiwa mapendere room house number yako yakati ID number yako indeiyi ukangovhotera triple C kana any opposition inenge isiri ZANU-PF tinobva takubata totoziva kuti ndiwe wakavhotera because kuZEC vanenge vachitoziva kuti ndiwe wakavhotera pasilipo because tinazvo zvebiometric. Saka izvozvo manje zviri kunobata kunyanya vanhu vari hama dzedu vana mukoma vanasisi vana mbuya naseko vari kumusha zva2008 zviya zvekuti kwanzi wainzi ukavhota uri kuonekwa paunenge wavhotera unozoteerwa. So people are still living in fear and now they are again instilled fear mavari kuti tikangokubata iko zvine zvatova worse nekuti vari kubva nebepa iri kuZEC kuri kuti kutovhoteswa kwacho paya vaingoti tinongokutarisa mubhokisi unenge wakatariswa nekamera kuti tinge tichitoziva pawavhotera tinotarisa toona kuti wafambisa ruoko rwako uchidzika kusvika pana Mugabe here kana kuti wafambisa ruoko rwako uchisvika pana MP here amene akanga ari panguva iyoyo. But iko zvine zvavari kuti isusu neZEC titori pamwe chete vakatotipa voters roll nemapictures and izvi zvakatoitika zvikashandiswa kuhwange kucancel election yakaitika ikoko vamwe vanhu vakatoita mavictims eizvozvo. So tinoda kutenda vakomana vepachedu kuti vari kuramba vachibudisa zvese zviri kuitwa neZEC zvavari kuda kutaridza kuda kubira president vakati navo nemumvura mese and vakomana ava tinovatenda because they are volunteering kuti vabudise zvinhu izvi pachena kuti muZimbabwe muve ne-free and fair election. Believe you me, by 2023 August, 2023 June, July panongoitwa ma-election ipapo aidofunga timu pachedu inenge yabudisa zvinhu zvakawanda zvatinofanirwa kuziva and ngatirambe tichivasapota zvakare in all the platforms yavanobuda vachitipa mafeedback ngativasapotei kuitira kuti zvinhu zvakadaro zvibude. Zvimwe zvacho zvinotikunda, zvimwe zvacho zvinokundawo president. Isusu vemedia kuchenje radio zvese chitikundawo asi tikawana vanhu vanenge vachipinda vachitibetsera zvakadai so we support it because so that patinoenda kunovhota 2023 tinoenda kunovhota tichiziva kuti our vote are secured. We know that if we vote no one is going to temper around the votes because zvinhu zvese zvaitwa tempered around the votes zvinenge zvabudiswa pachena. So salute to team pachedu. Over to you, Chief.
Talking, I can't hear anything.
Yes, just remain on mute. Will be coming to you. Yes, DJ Prof, you are very right. we need to be thankful and be grateful to what Team Pachedu are doing. Team Pachedu are playing their part. Like Dr. Mambokazi was saying, what are you doing yourself? That's where we are now. President Chamisa has spoken. When the leader has spoken, they've done their part. And now it's also upon us to take up what the president has talked about. He has said that ZEC must go. It's either ZEC goes or ZEC must reform completely, or we replace it with a neutral body. And now, let me tell you one thing. ZEC is not going to wake up not there. ZEC is not going to wake up giving us the electoral reforms that we are demanding. ZANU-PF will not, just reform themselves out of power just like that. We need to put pressure. We need to fight. We need to go in the streets, Zimbabweans across the political divide, because this is nothing, this is beyond, it's over and above CCC. This should be a call for every Zimbabwean. I've heard our brothers in Zambia, you guys are from Zambia, if you are listening, I've heard you are organizing a demonstration for the longest time. Please let that demonstration come. South Africa, I've seen COVID right now. Let's have demonstrations in South Africa. United Kingdom, we are known to have powerful moving demonstrations. Let's have demonstrations in London. America, oye, are you there? Nambona Mamada Varpanapa, our organizing champion. We now need demonstrations. We need to put pressure on this regime. We need to see people marching in the streets of Berlin, in Germany. We need to see Zimbabweans flooding the streets of Australia, Middle East, everywhere, Canada, where Zimbabweans are. Let's get out there and expose ZANU-PF and talk about ZEC and talk about these reforms, that no elections, no reforms, no elections. The president has spoken. Let's go out there and support him, because ZANU, the government, ZEC, they are never going to just reform themselves out of power. And I know our comrades on the ground, they are planning something. But here in the diaspora, let's get ready. Botswana, Namibia, please, let's start planning for those demonstrations. You know what ZEC has been doing? It's simply aiding and abetting or helping ZANU-PF. They are not doing anything. They are not working for you. They are not working for Zimbabweans as they are supposed to be. They are paid by Zimbabweans. They are supposed to be saving Zimbabweans, but they are not saving Zimbabweans. They are saving Emerson Mnangagwa. They are saving ZANU-PF. But it's us now who can stop that rot. Pachedu, you've done their part. Now, as citizens, as Zimbabweans, and you people who are listening right now, you also have a role to play. Voter education. ZEC is supposed to be doing voter education. By its own admission, if you go on their website right now, it's written, they're supposed to be doing voter education, but they deliberately never do voter education because they don't want people to be enlightened. You see, ZEC will flight 1 or 2 adverts a month or 2 before the general elections, but they have a budget. They have a budget for voter education. They will not do it. So it's now upon us as Zimbabweans to do our own voter education. And we can do it like what the Zambians did, taking this struggle to a personal level, to the family level. When you see a voter education flyer, also post it to your family group. Talk to your people right now over the phone. When you're talking, when you're having your family meetings, encourage your folks to go and register to vote. Talk to the people that you are supporting, the people that obviously listen to you. If you talk about voter registration to someone in Zimbabwe right now, they will listen to you. We are influencers as we are here. You see what ZANU-PF does. They did that in Wedza. There's a ward that was on the by-elections. I was getting the information as it was happening. There were 6 cars in a small ward, a very small ward of 1,000 plus people. Those cars were driving around, telling people, intimidating people. That's voter intimidation. Do not go and vote. If you vote and we don't win here, we are going to come after you. That's That's harvest of fear. We are going to come after you. They are already putting fear into our people. And some will be telling them that if you go in that booth, we'll be seeing you. We have got cameras. That's where voter education comes in. That's where you guys who are listening here, you guys who are in the diaspora, educate your folks. Educate the people that are back home. Tell them, hakuna nokuona, manyepo iwayo. Tell the people to go and vote without any fear. And as Change Radio, as you will see, we have programs that are coming. You should be listening to Change Radio every day. We have programs that we are producing, especially for voter education. We'll give you just a test of some of the programs that we have. We have people that are making dramas right now, and you'll be able to listen to that part of that drama that we are producing as Change Radio right here when we transition from this topic to another topic. So Change Radio is leading in voter education because ZBC will not do voter education for us. ZEC will not do voter education for us. So that leaves us in Change Radio to do voter education. So whenever you see Change Radio, please support it. Share the videos that we send. Also share the news that we send out in WhatsApp every day. That's the concept of Change Radio. We produce news, especially for WhatsApp users' consumption. Do not just listen to the news and then you leave it there. Forward it to someone, because in those news, in our programs, there is always something for voter education, and we need to intensify that. Elijah, I know you're traveling. You want to come in?
Oh, thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. I just wanted to say, I think I'm just going to say one thing here concerning ZEC. Yes, ZEC is cornered, and we need to keep on putting pressure. You know what is quite surprising is that ZEC, at one point, they were saying they don't follow or they don't listen to what is on Twitter. They don't consider what is on Twitter. But you know that they had a war press conference just responding to Twitter, just responding to what Pacheco had said. So what I wanted to say is, let's keep on putting the pressure. Let us use this medium, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, to put pressure on ZEC so that they do the right thing. Already they are responding. That is a sign that social media has got the power. Unozamkoma tagindo pavaitaura paiti pane vamwe vanongoita noise paTwitter but isusu tiri paground tinovhoterwa navari paground tinzi isusu tinovhoterwa navari paTwitter. But what then happened? You know all what happened. Why? The power of social media. So we are going to utilize that. Now, going forward as well, I just wanted to say, the way we also put pressure on ZEC, let us citizens, let us make sure whatever evidence that we have of malpractices by ZEC, we put it out there. Recently, I just saw a video, I don't know whether you saw that, what happened in Mtasa South. People would go to, on Saturday when they're going to vote, they will pass by the polling station, going to the village head, register their names first at the village head's house before they go to cast their ballots. That is malpractice. What is ZEC doing about it? What are they saying about it? At one point, Champion Mafume, he attended that ZEC multi-party liaison committee, and he was thrashed every point that he was making. He was thrashed. He was saying, you never put any paper, you never put any communication to us about all these malpractices. But we are seeing this. Let us put, they wanted V11s, now we are giving them V11s via social media. So let us put it up. Citizens, this is the time. Let us put pressure. It's not just about the champion-in-chief, President Chamisa, to do that. We all have got a responsibility to put pressure on ZEC so that they do the right thing. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, thank you very much, Elijah. Dr. Mambokazi, I know you're itching to say something. Then we'll go to Barbara to round up, and then Estella will put us through that drama production.
Unfortunately, Dr. Mambokazi has dropped. She hasn't come back in yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. So over to Leader Barbara to round up on this issue.
Leader Barbara, before you round up, I would like to just ask a question that
Champion
possibly
Barbara, champion.
Champion Barbara.
I told them I don't want to be called champion. I don't want to be called the leader. I want to be called Barbara. I'm content with that. Don't worry.
Barbara. Okay, Barbara.
All right, Babsy. I have a question that. The leader, Babsy. You mentioned a company, Africom. I quickly checked up on the internet, Kuti, what is Africom? And what I found is US Africa Command. Is that the Africom that we are talking about here, or is it a different one?
No, that's
it's a telecom company. They provide my landlines. I know they also provide my landlines for Zimbabwe. So it's a company that is owned by the military personnel, and Spusiso Moyo was once the board chairperson in 2008, and now the chairperson is also an army officer called Hanzi Kuwete or something like that. So the whole company is being run by soldiers. And they tell you what, after Tim Pachedu discovered all that, the next thing, the website was pulled down. You can't access the website anymore. They've pulled down the website.
Which website was pulled down? The ZEC one or?
The ZEC one, the one that they in a server, where there's ZEC server. They've pulled it down.
So it means that if they pull down the website, even if you try to check it now online, the only thing that you find is at the Africom that is not exactly the one that you are trying to look for. You won't get it.
Yes.
But the good thing, it has been unearthed. We know that it's there.
Yes, and why must the army have what are they doing at ZEC? The army must not be seen near ZEC. This is the reason why they refuse with so many things. That's the reason why ZEC does not comply with what the people want. And let's not also forget that ZEC is also run by the military, the CIOs, you name it. You know that the whole ZEC in of president, it must be disbanded, because we will not ever have a free and fair elections as long as those people are still there.
Okay. You can go
Let's
ahead.
move on.
All right. There is a comment I'm pinning there. Patience Olivia asks, why can't ZEC be disbanded if the citizens don't want them anymore? What's happening to the petition we are signing? I just wanted to bring up the issue of the petition, since we are talking about putting pressure to disband ZEC. So maybe we should one thing we can also do to mount that pressure is to sign the petition, which is floating around on social media to disband ZEC. I have a link which I'm just getting here, which I'm just going to put in comments. So please click on that link and sign that petition to disband ZEC, just to help mount the pressure. And moving on, our next topic is President Chamisa meets the citizens.
Okay. I think there was a drama that you're supposed to show before we go to the next topic.
Yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. Just to remind people about voting, I think, yeah.
Yes. It's a short drama just to encourage people to register to vote. Enjoy.
Session 1, local authority. Regai tite read constituency. District.
Kanoratidza kuti ndarejista kuvhota ndakatorwa mupikicha inonzi vivhiara ndikaiswa mukombiyuta ndobva ndapiwa kasilipa ndakanzi kasilipa kamusi wandinoya kuzovhota kana ndisiri muvhota zuro ndinovaratidza silipi yangu
ndandatofunga kuti mavhota
aiwa handina kuvhota
ndoyavakupa iyi ende chionai manakiro azvakaita haucharasiki
yes
wati yako zvese zvakanyorwa
hauendiko zvakarongeka zvakatorongeka
mayo
hatisi kuperekedza maina hatisi kutomboperekedza
zinyaya dzedu dziri
kufairatomira neimwe
That's another Change Radio production. The full drama will be coming to you soon. So please keep listening to Change Radio. Keep visiting our Facebook page and our YouTube channel so that you can see more of these short dramas for voter education. Change Radio is playing its part on voter education. Play yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Chief. And a reminder to our viewers and listeners, Change Radio does have an app that is on Google Play Store. If you don't have it, go to Google Play Store and search for Change Radio and install that app so that you can always just click the app and you can tune in to Change Radio. Yes, and moving on to our next topic, President Chamisa meets the citizens. President Chamisa has been going around in different places meeting the citizens. Would you like to give us a little more on that, panelists?
Oh,
Barbara.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. What I can safely say, Estella, is that I think, as we are all aware, the president during the by-elections was doing some rallies all over the country, and the by-elections have come and gone. Now the president is meeting the citizens, the stakeholders. So far, he has met people, citizens in Gweru, citizens in Bulawayo, and citizens in Mashingo today. So the meeting is for citizens, but it's no longer a rally. It's now a meeting whereby the president is telling everyone that everyone is welcome to the CCC. We have to embrace everyone. And he was also saying that the people are going to be, leaders are going to be chosen by the citizens. So he was just giving the assurance, but now at a larger scale. It was no longer a rally, because I heard some people saying, Chamisa ngotaura pamarally, hazvimboitwi zvaanenge achitaura. So I just said to myself, anyadzisa president wanyadzisa one, because now he's now telling a smaller group, which is the provinces, but everyone being invited, the stakeholders, the churches, the chiefs, the workers, everyone was being invited. So that's what is happening at the moment. And the meetings are very well attended. They are being held in the halls, and they are well attended, and people are eager to go. And President Chamisa is telling people to take advantage of the blitz that is there, where the IDs are being issued and birth certificates. We know there are a lot of people without birth certificates and IDs, and we know the repercussions of not having an ID. You don't vote if you don't have an ID. You don't register to vote if you don't have an ID. What's good about this exercise is when the ID blitzes are completed, then it comes the voter registration blitz, so that everyone is able to vote in 2023. So let's mobilize our relatives, our children. Let's check everyone. and make sure that they vote. People in the diaspora, let me tell you something. We are the people that are holding we are the people that are keeping Zimbabwe going. We are every time we send money to Zimbabwe, it also benefits the government because we pay taxes, and we have to tell the people that we send money to register and make sure that everyone registers. If they don't register, then no money. We just have to be very, very strict because we are here not by choice but by default. No one wants to stay in a foreign land. We all want to go to Zimbabwe, so we are playing our part. So everyone has also got to play his or her part. Let's make sure our children have registered. After registering, make sure that they vote. Our parents have registered, and there are also people who transferred to other areas. Let's make sure we follow up those people and make them register. Chief, I have a nephew, my aunt's son. They moved from, and his wife, they moved from Bulawayo to Rosape. So I was telling my sister, when you go home, please make sure tendai nemukadzi wake they transfer. I want to see them. They have to vote. And if they don't vote, if they don't transfer, they must not even tell me, but I'm not going to give them anything if they don't do that. And also I have another Bamnini who transferred again from was all along was working in Bulawayo. Now he's in a pension. So I was telling you, go and tell him that he must go and register to vote. We don't want people who do not vote in our village. And this is my father's young brother. So we have a responsibility, Chief. We all have a responsibility to see to it that our people have registered to vote and they also have voted in their numbers. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Barbara, for that. As we transition to another topic, Estella, let me just pass a comment here on what the president has been doing. I've been following his speeches. The president is always talking about unity. He is preaching togetherness. He is preaching the spirit of oneness, that Zimbabweans, let's come together. And you know why he's doing that? He knows that the Yellow family on its own will not deliver victory to Zimbabwe. I know some people don't want to hear what I'm saying, but I'm just telling you the truth. The Yellow movement on its own cannot give President Chamisa the votes that he needs to win a general election. We will need to fish some people from ZANU-PF. We will need to fish some people from Douglas Monzora. We will need to fish some people from other political parties. And we will need to convert all those that are sitting on the fence so that they go and vote for President Chamisa. And the numbers that we had in 2018 proved that we cannot win the election on our own. The fact that President Chamisa at one time, he was scoring or having more numbers than our councillors, than our members of parliament, shows you that there are people that voted for President Chamisa that were belonging to other political parties. Because why else would you explain why a councillor and a member of parliament would lose in Wedza and President Chamisa, winning in Wedza? It shows that there are people that will always vote President Chamisa that are coming from other political parties. We have to talk to them. We have to reach out to them, and we have to show them that we are a considerate movement. President Chamisa has to present himself to everyone else as a statesman, not as a leader of an opposition, not as a leader of a political movement. President Chamisa is doing that very well. That's what we are seeing every time. We are seeing a president for all. He is preaching tolerance, that let's tolerate each other as Zimbabweans. Who would want to vote for a president who will be threatening everyone that because you're not supporting me 10 years ago, then you deserve to suffer. Because you are Emerson Mnangagwa, I'm going to kill you immediately when I come into power. That will never work. That means you will never be president. So let's look at the bigger picture, folks. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's support the message that the president is preaching, the message of oneness, the message of togetherness, and that message is going to get us over the finishing line. Estella.
Yes, thank you, Chief. I did have a short clip of one of the meetings that President Chamisa had with the citizens in Masvingo. Can I go ahead and flight it?
Yes, leader, you can.
Okay. Yes, that was a short. Yes.
Yeah, this one, I've seen Bulawayo one, I saw Gweru one, this Masvingo one, this was today. This is just, the numbers are so amazing. This shows that these are the citizens, because if it were the provincial council, if it were MDCA provincial council, the wall would not be pegged like this. Usually, provincial councils were held at the party offices, and I can see the reason why these meetings have been held in halls, because it's a citizens meeting, and they would not be accommodated at an office. As you can see by the numbers there, it's so encouraging, and you can actually feel change coming through these crowds.
Ndahwa vana wezhira vachiti wazadza mukomana wazadza
kwese kwaari kuenda ari kuzadza
vakaiti wazadza. Ndazomboona zvakare vari murodhi yazombopotsa yatoita karali, nekuti ndaona achifamba murodhi kumasvingo ikoko nhasi haakwana kusungamira zvakanaka.
Yeah, and I wanna. If I could find it, I would flight that one as well.
What are the comments? The comments, Stella?
Okay.
What is the comments? You can also check on our news review, Iri Popa news review page.
Excellent.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. You can address that comment, Yandapina. You.
It's every citizen to teach our relatives and friends in our own villages. We can talk to our relatives by phone or WhatsApp if we are out of the country. This is everyone's fight and not just the leaders. This is very true, my sister, Patience. This is our core. We are always talking about this. Zimbabweans, don't take this for granted. I know people, when you get into your family meetings, you forget to talk about voter education. You overlook it. Please make it something that you discuss with any member of your family. Even before you send them money, ask them, are you registered to vote? And tell them, please go and register to vote before I can send you the money that we want. That's where it has to be, if we are going to get everyone to register. please, let's take heed of this. And what is your take on upcoming census? Because ZANU-PF youth take over and they are going to collect data and use it on elections. That's a very good point. We'll direct it to our elections department so that we also begin to encourage our youth to get involved.
Can someone mute
Elijah.
Dede's feedback?
It's Elijah. Do you want to talk, Elijah? Or okay, he was on the phone.
Let's go ahead.
Can you mute?
Let's move on. We need to round up now.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's the one which
Last
DJ. The last what?
I'm saying the last one.
Last topic.
Mm.
Makangano. Akati one day.
So let's go ahead, Stella. You are in charge of that. Let's move on.
All right. Some of the things that President Chamisa has been saying, the quotes and quotations that he has been making concerning the movement and the future of Zimbabwe. And we are a new movement.
I think those quotes, Estella, those ones they can the people will see them on our page. Is the
All
same
right.
as what that's what he's been saying to these meetings, and we've touched some of the things. I think they will. Let's move on and maybe tackle the topics that we haven't tackled as yet.
All right. I understand ID issuance and voter registration blitz. You kind of touched on those, and it.
Yes.
All right. Here's another one. A baby was released without treatment from hospital. If I can just pull up the image.
Do we have? No, please don't.
Oh,
some
all
people
right.
are
Nervous disposition.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think this one, Estella, maybe we can just touch on what Daddy Hope has been saying when he went to Geneva, when Daddy Hope was talking about the health delivery system in Zimbabwe, that we don't have equipment, that we don't have medication in our hospitals, and then Nick Mangwana was saying kuti why ndachinotaura zvinhu zvekumusha kwake what, and then Linda Masarira was also saying kufukura hapwa. But what I liked about Daddy Hope is he brought the V11s, and the V11s, the stories were in the Herald, and it's the Herald that was saying that Zimbabwe does not have a functional cancer machine, Zimbabwe does not have this, Zimbabwe does not have this, and the maternity wings, they've got no operational theater that is functional. And now we are talking about this baby. The baby was bent, and I only saw the pictures. The baby had blisters. The baby was seriously bent, and the baby was discharged without being treated because there were no drugs in the hospital. This is the Zimbabwe that we are living in. This is the Zimbabwe that we are facing. But is it the Zimbabwe that we want? No, it's not the Zimbabwe that we want. The Zimbabwe that we want a Zimbabwe that has got functional hospitals, clinics, a Zimbabwe that has got functional schools, a Zimbabwe that has got its people at heart, looking after the old people, the widows, the orphans, the Zimbabwe that has got electricity that never runs out. It's Zimbabwe that has got clean water. That's the reason why we come here every day and talk about the bad things that Mnangagwa and his government is doing. You know, Mnangagwa has been promising since 1980s, ZANU-PF has been promising, and they've never fulfilled their promises. And we always say, Kuti, if you are a government, you are in government, why do you promise in your election campaign or the manifesto? You must not promise. You must be telling us that you did this, you did this, you did this, but because the time was not enough, so you are asking the people to extend your term of office by another 5 years because you didn't complete your project. But if you didn't do anything, why do you want people to vote for you when you didn't do anything? Since 1980, you know, some of us are now old. You know, we yearning for a better Zimbabwe, but we haven't seen that a better Zimbabwe. I remember the best time that I lived on this earth is when I was in Rhodesia, where everything was well and everything was sailing smoothly, where I could just go outside and pick my mukaka wedu pado wasiwa na milkman, where I would go every day ndinotenga pepa rababa na 6 o'clock waitofanira kutoenda kuno mari yaira rakaiswa patable chako waingomuka uchinotenga paper, because my father used to read the newspaper every day, but he was working in the industrial areas as a driver, a mere driver, but he managed to take us to school. This is the Zimbabwe that we are yearning for, and we are fighting this for our children. So why should people vote for ZANU-PF? Promise now and then. You know, it's so pathetic that my hospitals are not shy to paracetamol chai. It's so sad, really. I can go on and on.
Yeah,
I need a step there.
That I know. That's fine. I think I have done justice to this topic. We can go on to the next one, Estelle.
Yes. Thank you. The next topic, which is the last one, is the upcoming council by-elections.
Yes. Upcoming council by-elections, courtesy again of Douglas Monzora. This man. I don't know. Yeah, so we do have another round of council by-elections. You know, when Douglas Monzora saw that he had lost what we termed the mini general election, he was so angry that he went again and recalled 7 councillors, or they were 10, but there are only 7 by-elections that have been declared. That will be done on the 7th of May. So we need to prepare for that as Zimbabweans. Let's not wait until the last minute for us to start running around and raising money for the by-elections. For these by-elections, we need to support these councillors. One of them is actually in Mashonaland East, somewhere in is it Uzumba Maramba Pfungwe, and another one is in Makoni. I'm trying to get the list here so that I can give accurate information. So we have a by-election in come on, why is it running away? I had it right here with me. One in Mutasa, and then my sincere apologies. I'm trying to pull it up so that I can give everyone here the correct information of where we have by-elections. There we go.
Chief achichaga zvawo ndangopa comment kuti
please go ahead.
Kungoscore my own goal.
Please go
You're
ahead.
scoring on goals. It is so pathetic that you recall 6 councillors and you fail to field the replacements in 3 of the wards. It's so pathetic, and You wonder kuti munhu anenge achifunge when they're doing that. But anyway, zvina mwari mukati kungoita score and on go. And as citizens, we will embrace that and we will put our people in there.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. And maybe Chief vachiri kutsvaga kudaro, maybe we can read a few comments. I will flight the comments and my panelists feel free to jump in and address the comments.
Okay, we have a by-election in Mount Darwin South, Zengeza West, Kariba. We have 2 by-elections. Those are in Kariba Eben. Oh, actually 3 in Kariba. And then we have 1 Makoni Central. It's written here as Eben. And then Mutasa South. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by-elections that are coming on the 7th of May. And we really need to start looking at how we are going to support them so that they can have the things that they need. I was talking to Honorable Chidziva. Yeah, he's now Honorable back again. I was talking to Honorable Chidziva. He was saying our councillor in Mount Darwin does not even have 1 flyer, not even 1 poster. So guys, let's not wait until the last minute. Let's come up with a plan. Those who are fundraising, let's start fundraising for these councillors. We need to take them all. Can you imagine if we go to these councils and we lose all of them or we lose half of them? Mind you, most of them are in the rural area. So it's actually possible that we might lose them. That will be something ZANU-PF will go to town with. So we can't allow that to happen. These are just 7. We should be able to resource these councillors very well, give them the flyers, the posters that they need, and also food for our polling agents as well as the stationery. Let's get into action, guys. And if you want to help, please get in touch.
Yes, there is a comment I pinned there by Lila Rose. She says, I think Dagi was instructed by ZANU to do those recalls because ZANU thinks they have a chance. I actually happen to think along the same lines. I think ZANU-PF is planning to rig very, they have a very strong rigging strategy for these upcoming by-elections because they had that embarrassment at the previous by-elections, and I'm sure they're strategizing. So we need to really work very hard to ensure that they don't get away with many of those seats.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't know if my fellow panelists have anything to add on that or comment on other issues that we already. Okay. Any closing comments from you?
Right. What I can urge Zimbabweans is it's something that we have been talking about. It's in line with these by-elections. It's in line with 2023. That Zimbabweans, it is our duty. Let's make sure that we play our part. All external assemblies, please, let's make sure that we start planning for demonstrations so that ZEC is disbanded completely or it reforms. That's not going to happen without pressure. Pressure works. We've seen that pressure works. If we talk on social media, if we demonstrate in the streets, if we write letters, if we write petitions, somehow those that kind of pressure ends up resulting in something. Remember, we do now have the biometric registration. We don't have biometric voting yet, but we fought for that biometric registration to be there. So if you put pressure, there are always results. So let's get ready for that. And finally, please, let's make sure we do voter education ourselves to our friends, to our relatives. Let's talk about the importance of voting, because I know what is causing voter apathy. Yes, ZANU-PF promotes it somehow, but we have our youth out there that are just saying, what's the point? What's the point of voting? It never changes. We have to change that mentality. We have to tell them that it can only get worse if people do not go and register, and people do not actually turn up on the voting day to vote. Let's play our part. Let's do this at a personal level. Let's do this at a family level. Let's do this at a community level. Make sure that village yako yekwaunobva vese vaenda kuregister. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't have much to say rather than say thank you so much to our viewers and listeners. It was great having you. We're interacting, and to our guest today, Dr. Mambokadzi and Champion Elijah. Thank you so much for joining us. Please do come again. You were so instrumental to this news review. Thank you so much. Siyabonga Mthokazi omuhle, lilale kuhle, lichone kuhle. Sesiphuma lapho.
Thank you so much. Ndoda kungoti to the fellow people who are living and working in South Africa, guys, we have got an advantage of being proximity to Zimbabwe. We have got advantage more than any other people who are outside Southern Africa. The number that we have in South Africa alone are enough to take Zimbabwe to a new level. So I'm advising each and everyone in South Africa to go to Zimbabwe, register to vote, and vote for change. It's not about registering and you come back and sit. You need to go and register, you go back on the voting day, you vote, and you vote for change. We have the power to change Zimbabwe to a better Zimbabwe. I thank you. We should not cry to file to say South Africans are beating us, South Africans are killing us. Yes, we don't condemn that, but let's make our own move. Hanzi mutambirwi gwinyawo chirema chine mazano chinotamba chakadzembera madziro. Complain about South Africa, but let's go and register to vote and vote in Zimbabwe to make our country better and we stay in our country. I thank you.
Thank you so much, DJ Prof, for that very strong, encouraging message for all citizens who are in countries neighboring Zimbabwe. And I would just like to address this question, this comment which is pinned by Lilac Rose. She says, I think us, the relatives, should do more. And I think she's referencing another comment which I saw earlier by someone who said CCC should go to rural areas. The person who wrote the comment was saying he has relatives who are saying that they are tired of ZANU-PF, but they are scared that if they vote, they may be targeted. And this comment actually addresses that. It says, I think us, the relatives, should do more. Yes, CCC will do rallies, but rural people will not attend because they fear being victimized. So we have a duty to play, my sister. If everyone takes time to speak to their relatives, we will get somewhere. Also, speak to other neighbors in the area. Help them join WhatsApp groups too. Very, very good suggestions there by Lilac Rose that we who are in diaspora, we should do more to, what's the word? To conscientize our relatives who are in the rural areas or in the farming areas, Shirotma Kumaprazi. Help them to join WhatsApp groups where they can get all this information which is being disseminated in the different WhatsApp groups. And also speak to the neighbors of our relatives when you happen to go to the farms or to the countryside. in addition to speaking to your own relatives and explaining to them, as DJ Prof was saying earlier on, that when you enter the ballot booth, there are no cameras that record what you are doing. So don't be intimidated. Give them all the information that will give them that confidence, so that they cannot be intimidated and they will not be scared to go and vote. So it's very important that we who have that privilege.
Can I add something there?
Yes, please.
Yes. So in other words, again, the role that we can also play as relatives is that we have been, as Change Radio, and I think with other leaders, they've been very clear. If people are in situations where, or in areas where they are extreme, where you know that normally it's really because people will need someone to be there. It's extreme. We are saying to you people in those areas, and people with those relatives in those areas, Mapras, like as he said, encourage them to go and attend those ZANU-PF meetings. Encourage them to go and take those ZANU-PF meal and those ZANU-PF rice and those ZANU-PF fertilizers. But conscientize them in the sense that in your ballot box, no one will see you. This fertilizer, this meal, this whatever you are given, you are going to be able to buy this thing for yourself. I'm sorry for the people of Epworth. Anyway, vakakwanisa kutengwa nehufu zvikapera izvo zvipamupfu wacho wakatopera then vasara vasina chinhu. I am saying those people must know those. Why can't you just learn? Every time when there's election, the ZANU-PF will come with something. They were asked by Job Wiwasikala, can you go to St. Mary's tomorrow and give the minimum that we were giving them on a voting day? They did not do that because they know that our people are hungry. That's why they bent on making sure that the people of Zimbabwe must starve and they must go hungry. They must lack something so that they know when they come back for election, they will give you that something that you are lacking and you think takugarika. Vanopedza vanobvisa hufu, vanobvisa chibage kana kuti hufu munyika. Vochinotenga chibage kana hufu kune dzimwe nyika, vouya vachikupai mofunga kuti government yatifunga. Kwete, vari kuda voting for the next 5 years, they will keep quiet. They will only come a year before election or even months before election, and then they took you away from whatever the problem that we had. Vokupai mari transport, vokupai mabhazi mahara ekuenda kumarali mahara, vokupai hufu, vokupai mafertilizer nguva yekurima, mubva matagarika. Zvichingobva izvozvo 5 years dzimwe zvakare. Saka munenge muchingotambwa tamba chidembo muswenda kabata every 5 years. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, DJ Prof. And as we are closing off, we would just like to remind you, our viewers and listeners, to make sure that if you are in a position to go home and vote, make sure you take advantage of this voter registration blitz, which is currently ongoing. Make sure you register to vote. If you have any queries to do with voter registration, you can call this free number from inside Zimbabwe. The number is 080-80219. The number again is 080-80219. And if you would like to check your voter registration status, you can dial *265# on if you're an Econet or a Net1 user. Alternatively, you can visit the website, which is flighting on the screen right now, and check your voter registration status. We encourage you to make sure that the details appearing on your registration status are correct, so that you will not have any problems on the day when you go to vote. Allow me to thank you all so much for joining us and for staying with us, and wish you an absolutely blessed week ahead. If you do not have the Change Radio app, please do download it and install it. You can find it on Google Play Store. We also encourage you to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube page, and follow our Twitter handle so that you can always get our notifications and updates. We're going to leave you watching a song by Paul Mazzore, one of his new songs, CCC songs. But do stay blessed and take care.
Tinona watamisa watia mbutewe Shoko kari tendererewe Kari para kasika hele shoko we Watamisa watia mbutewe Darwe nira kasika hele shoko we Atia mbutewe Atia mbutewe Tikadai so Mukomana atia mbutewe Muchidai so mukadai Mukomana atia mbutewe Atia mbutewe Bere para kasika ere soko we Mukomana atia mbutewe Mukoma we Atia mbutewe Tikadai so tichidai so Mukomana atia mbutewe